These are live images on your screen, and we are talking about the Pax Silica initiative. This, of course, is the US-led alliance.
And now the Pax Silica declaration is being signed between India
listen in and take a look
United
at these images
States of
coming
America.
The aim of Pax Silica is to establish a durable economic order to drive AI-powered prosperity across partner nations. India is now joining the US-led strategic alliance, Pax Silica, which was formed by the US in December last year. That's what Minister Ashwini Vaishnav was referring to
The declaration
at this
is
point
being
in time.
signed by Honorable Under-Secretary Jacob Helberg, His Excellency Ambassador Sergio Gore, and the Secretary, Mr. S. Krishnan.
The formal joining, of course, comes amid renewed push by New Delhi and Washington to reset ties following the finalization of an interim trade deal after months of strained relationship due to tariffs.
Once the declaration
of course, once India is a part of this initiative, which it is now signing, as we look at these images coming in, this gives India access to trusted AI and, of course, semiconductor supply chains at a time when domestic demand is rising sharply. Pax Silica means peace, stability and long-term prosperity, with silica here referring to the compound refined into silicon and chemical element key to the computer chipset enable artificial intelligence. Of course, this initiative can be understood as an alliance for promoting peace and prosperity through stable tech supply chains. India is joining the alliance.
I request the distinguished
guests at this point in time.
Up the signed declaration for the official photograph.
India was initially not a part of this alliance. However, last month, India was invited by the US to join in the strategic alliance. It is, of course, being said by the US that as the world adopts new technology, it is essential that India and US work hand in hand from the very start of the initiative. And that's what you see on your screens at this point in time. The signatories of Pax Silica declaration include several nations like Japan, Australia, South Korea, UK, among others.
So once again, we are going to have this photo op.
Pax Silica initiative aims to build a secure, resilient and innovation-driven supply chain for critical minerals and artificial intelligence. Simply put, it aims to reduce Western reliance on China for critical minerals, chips and AI infrastructure.
I would like to now also request CEO of Micron,
US had earlier spoken of coercive dependencies and the importance of fair market practices in this field in an apparent reference to China's dominance. This is an initiative which, of course, would then, in a way, reduce dependence on China, a country that mines around 70% of key rare earths.
I thank our distinguished guests for that photo op.
I'm going to go straight across to Piyush for more on that. Joining of Pax Silica at this point in time matters for India's semiconductor and AI future. And that's the reason why it became so important for India to accept the invitation from the US just a few weeks ago to be a part of this, isn't it? Very beginning.
Well, that's a very big deal which has been signed between India and US. Pax Silica deal has been now signed between India and United States. Remember that it was announced a couple of days back by the US Ambassador Sergio Gore, and now the deal has been signed. This deal has been signed in the presence of the US Under-Secretary of State for Economic Affairs Jacob Helberg and Union Military Secretary S. Krishnan. What we are also told is that after this deal is signed, a lot of developments are now going to take place. This strategic initiative is also being seen as a counter to China's grip on the global manufacturing supply chain that was launched on this entire deal was launched on October 12, 2025, and now it has join us for this conversation. And the Secretary is going to moderate this discussion.
Coming back to you in a moment from now, this undoubtedly is the beginning of a new era in terms of artificial intelligence for the country. But this declaration that we are speaking about lays out a shared vision of deep economic and technological cooperation across supply chains, raw materials to semiconductors, AI infrastructure, commitment to mutual prosperity and security. The declaration has been signed. Importantly, Piyush, what really matters is that China, the dependence on China semiconductors and innovation-driven supply chain for critical minerals is concerned, that sort of a dependence gets reduced immediately after this agreement comes into effect, isn't it?
Well, no doubt about it. You would remember that various countries have been talking about the China's grip on this entire chain. Remember that this initiative is also being seen as a big counter to China's grip on the global manufacturing supply chain. Because of this, there will be reduced coercive dependencies, and also it is further going to build a secure, prosperous, and innovation-driven silicon supply chain. What we are also told is that the inclusion of Delhi, inclusion of India in the Pax Silica is a very big step towards cementing the partnership in a new frontiers of technology, which also includes artificial intelligence and semiconductor. This initiative is also being seen, to further boost the ties between India and United States. And a big deal has now been signed between India and US now. India is part of Pax Silica, and the main aim of this entire initiative is to ensure that there is a proper ties, and also that there should be no blackmailing and no dependency on any kind of technology on any country, which those are part of this entire deal which has now been signed between India and US.
What's also interesting, Piyush, at this point in time is the manner in which China has responded to this, fairly restrained maybe, with the Foreign Ministry of China talking about involved member nations to adhere to the principles of market economy and fair competition, isn't it? I would say that's fairly restrained and calculated.
Well, certainly there's no doubt as to how China has been targeting, and it has been commenting on such important initiatives those are being taken. But it is also being seen as a huge initiative to counter what China has been saying. Remember that there is a grip of China on global manufacturing supply chain, and now this deal is being signed to ensure that the dependency of China is reduced. There is a secure, prosperous, and innovation-driven supply chain from critical minerals to energy inputs, and also in semiconductors and artificial intelligence. So we have seen this taking place before also, how China comments on big deals those are signed by India. But this initiative is being seen as a big counter to what China has been saying.
Absolutely. In that sense, it's a big message to China as well.